Hello and welcome back to the Jeevers Golf Channel. My name is Hans Jeevers. I'm a fantasy golf contributor for ProGolfNow.com and Fansided.com, and I'm here with you this morning to talk about the final round of the 2020 Wyndham Championship. I appreciate you coming by. If you're a new individual that is not familiar with my channel, I appreciate that. All my subscribers, I appreciate you coming as well. Last week I was glad to see that I did obtain some new subscribers. Thank you very much for coming to my channel. Can't say how much I appreciate those that do come to view my content and also read my articles on a weekly basis. I'm very appreciative of that. If you don't mind hitting the like button today, I'd certainly appreciate it as well. So again, we're talking about the final round of the 2020 Wyndham Championship. I will tell you up front that the article that I wrote last night that was published in the early hours of this morning was written with a view of 2 rounds of completion of play. As we speak, this is Saturday morning. The 3rd round is currently ongoing. The statistics and information that I make reference to in my article is in reference to the completion of 2 rounds of play at the 2020 Wyndham Championship. One of the reasons I do that is to get the content out as soon as I possibly can, but we do have a knowledge of those that have made the cut and who have moved forward. So no concerns in that regard. So I will tell you that as I speak, the 3rd round is being played. The PGA Tour made a decision to move up tee times due to inclement weather in the area in North Carolina. They want to make sure to get the 3rd round in today. I will also mention tomorrow's forecast as another. We are in the South. I'm in Florida currently, but I can assure you it's very similar there in North Carolina. These hot, humid conditions produce thunderstorms in the afternoon often, and I would not be at all surprised if the PGA Tour did it again tomorrow and pushed up tee times into the early hours of the morning to ensure that the tournament is completed, because the FedEx playoffs start next week, and I can promise you the PGA Tour does not want a Monday finish of the 2020 Wyndham Championship. Okay, so here are my selections for the 2020 Wyndham Championship final round based on FanDuel pricing. Let's take a look at the slate here. First off, a guy that loves this tournament, who lives on the property, American Webb Simpson. He comes in on the slate at $11,900. The American has 8 top 11 finishes at the Wyndham Championship in the last 10 years, including a win in 2011. It should be noted that of those 8 top 11 finishes just mentioned, Simpson has an average final round score of 65.25. Obviously, this gentleman knows this golf course. He knows where to miss it if he's going to miss, and he performs well on a consistent basis, including in the final round. So I would roll with Webb Simpson in the final round FanDuel contest. Also, I should mention that he has been consistent on the year in 2020. Webb Simpson currently has 2 wins on the PGA Tour this season. Next up, former Florida Gator Billy Horschel comes in on the FanDuel slate at $10,400. Horschel has 3 top 25 finishes in his last 4 events on the PGA Tour. It should also be mentioned, in the last 4 rounds played on the PGA Tour, 4 final rounds specifically, final round 4th rounds, Billy has a final round scoring average of 68.5. Also of note with regards to Billy Ho is since 2016, he has played this tournament every year, the Wyndham Championship, and he has 3 top 11 finishes at the Wyndham. One thing I would say about Billy Horschel is, as I mentioned, he is a Florida Gator, and he likes hot, humid conditions, and he likes Bermuda greens. So I'm not at all surprised that he plays well at the Wyndham Championship. He comes in at $10,400. Lastly, on FanDuel, Doc Redman, Clemson Tiger, $9,300. He has 4 top 29 finishes in his last 6 events on the PGA Tour, including an 11th place result at the Travelers Championship in June. Redman is currently ranked 19th in par 4 birdie percentage, 12th in greens and regulation, and 15th in strokes gained approach on the PGA Tour coming into this week's event at the Wyndham. I think rather than just stopping there with Doc, let's go on to a couple others. I said lastly a few minutes ago. Let's move on to a couple other selections that I have here. Henrik Norlander is another guy I went with. The Swede is $8,800 on the FanDuel final round slate. He fired a final round 65 of the 3M Open en route to a 23rd place finish last month. One thing I like to look at from a statistical point of view is how guys are faring in the tournament as it is going on. So with regards to the Swede here, after 2 rounds of play at the 2020 Wyndham Championship in relation to the field for this specific tournament, Norlander currently ranks 1st in strokes gained approach and 17th in strokes gained ball striking. In order to fare well at Sedgefield Country Club, which is where the Wyndham is being played, you need to be striking the ball well, and he obviously is in relation to the field. Next up, Taylor Gooch, not with a Y, Taylor Gooch, T-A-L-O-R, Gooch. The 28-year-old American fired a final round 68 at the 3M Open 3 weeks ago on his way to an eventual 18th place finish. Also looked at how he fared against the field through 2 rounds of play. And in relation to the 2020 Wyndham Championship field through 2 rounds, Gooch currently ranks 10th in strokes gained off the tee, 5th in strokes gained ball striking, and 8th in strokes gained putting. After 2 rounds of play, Gooch is currently tied for 1st place with a cumulative 2-round score of 10 under par. And looking for a value play on this particular slate, I went with Canadian Michael Gligic, G-L-I-G-I-C. He comes in at the bargain basement price of $7,000 on FanDuel. That is the lowest you can go on FanDuel. He comes into this week's event with 2 consecutive top 26 finishes on the PGA Tour, including a 12th place result at the Barracuda Championship 2 weeks ago. In order to gain some leverage in these contests, you really need to find someone that is in the lower cost range if you want to perform well in these contests. I play GPP Guaranteed Prize Pool contests, and if I want to differentiate my lineups from the rest of the field, I need to find someone in the lower cost range. I like the look of the Canadian here at only $7,000. So I will leave it at that. One gentleman that did make the article, Patrick Reed, I like the look of him as well. He comes in to this tournament ranked 9th on the PGA Tour in final round scoring average. So I like the look of Reed. He's performing quite well through 2 rounds as well. He did not make my article though. I can't put a link in the description area of this YouTube video because YouTube frowns on that. So if you want to look at the article that was dropped this morning, you can go to fansided.com, Hans Jeevers. Just Google that and you will get right to the site. So, again, if you don't mind hitting that like button, I'd appreciate it. Subscribing would be even better, but can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming and taking a visit to the Jeevers Golf channel. Next week, in just a few days' time, I will be back with a video regarding the 2020 Northern Trust from TPC Boston, the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend.